A very warm welcome to all of you present here. On behalf of Believers IAS Academy, it is an absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to today's orientation session. Every civil service journey begins with a dream, but turning that dream into reality requires a clear strategy, relentless discipline, and the right mentorship. So today, to help us build the foundation, we are immensely privileged to have an esteemed guest who has walked this path with distinction and is currently serving the nation at the highest levels of governance. Please join me in giving a resounding welcome to Shri Gundrati Pruthvinath Goud, an Indian Defence Account Service Officer of 2021 batch. Shri Pruthvinath Goud cracked the formidable UPSC Civil Services Examination 2020 with an impressive All India rank of Air 541. He did his foundation training at the National Academy of Defence Financial Management in Pune, currently promoted to senior timescale as Deputy Controller of Defence Accounts in CDA, Bangalore. In his current role, he plays a crucial part in managing financial advice, auditing, and fiscal governance for India's naval and maritime defense infrastructure, a testament to vital responsibilities carried out by Group A Central Services. Today, Shri Pruthvinath Goud is here to share his valuable insights, practical wisdom, and proven strategies for all of us to all the aspirants in the room. Opportunities like this to learn directly from the serving officer is rare, and I request all of you to listen closely, ask thoughtful questions, and take away actionable strategies for your own preparation. Without any more of your time, let us all give a resounding round of applause to Pruthvinath Goud. Over to you.
So now we all have our reasons why we are into this preparation, why we need to clear UPSC and get into a government job as a civil servant and serve the nation. It could be as personal as I just need a job and I thought clearing UPSC is the best option for me. Or it could be as broad as I want to serve the nation. I'm already well equipped, but I want to give it back to the nation. I want to serve the nation in a very good position, a respectable position, right? So since you all have your reasons, there should not be any question throughout your journey of preparation saying that, sir, I lack motivation. How should I get back to my preparation? Open this page, read it aloud, get back to your reason why you started this preparation. If you are not true to yourselves, you are wasting your time. Let me be very clear, this exam is very demanding. You need to be very consistent, you need to be disciplined, you need to be dedicated towards the exam. If you don't have your reason very strong, if you don't aspire to get that success very badly, it will not happen. At least you will not be in that position where you can say that I was unlucky just because of that I'm not clearing. No, that's not the case. You did not prepare enough. Luck comes at a very later stage. We all might have heard that UPSC has a bit of luck factor, right? There are so many aspirants, only around 1,000 people clear every year. But within that 1,000, most of them, 99% of them has done things right. Only then they got selected. Yes, luck would have played a factor for the other 5,000 or 10,000 people who did equal work, but they could not make it for some or the other factor, right? So you need to be in that small pot where a lucky dip is picked up. Your name should be in there, in that small pot. To get yourself enrolled in that small pot, you need to do a certain number of things in a certain way, in a consistent and disciplined way. That's what we are going to talk about today. The session is mostly about it, okay? This particular one paragraph or one line which you have written today is going to stay with you throughout your journey, even after clearing the exam. Even as an officer, I know why I cleared the exam and why I am in this position. It's a reminder to me every time. Every time I take a decision on a file, every time I go to office, it's a reminder for me why I am here. Okay, I can always go back. I'm a doctor. I did my MBBS. So I can always go back and practice my profession. Why am I still here? So there is a reason to it. So that reason should be very strong. I'm stressing on it again and again, not to bore you, but to tell you that is the most important foundational fact which you need to imbibe. So read it again for me. Read it to yourself one more time before we start the session. I'll give you 10 seconds for that. Okay? Just read it once. Okay. Now, since some of you have already given one or few attempts, and some of you are in the preparation for few months, what do you think one need to have to clear UPSC? Give me some words. Please be free. You are not being recorded. I am being recorded. So please be free. Give your opinions and words freely. Lakan, you tell me.
Consistency in preparation.
Consistency. More words.
Active time management.
Time management. And clarity. And what not to read. More. Discipline. Anything else? Okay, let me ask you, how many of you think you need to have great memory power to clear UPSC? Okay. How many of you think you should have a successful educational background? Like you would have scored very good marks in your 10th or intermediate PU, you call it PU, or in your graduation. How many of you think you should have a good track record of your education to clear UPSC? None. Very good. How many of you think you need to take multiple coachings for each and every subject and multiple tests? Good. How many of you think you need gadgets, iPads to make notes? Good. You're all in good track. Okay, memory. We'll talk about it. Good, as you need to know what not to read. You need to be clear about what is the syllabus, what are the sources you are going to stick to, and how are you going to plan your preparation and how are you going to revise it. Discipline, yes, it's an overarching value which you need to have to achieve anything in life, not just UPSC. Even if you want to say learn driving, if you don't show up every day and learn it, you cannot. You cannot just sit at home, watch videos of how to drive, and you cannot just learn driving that way. You have to get into the field, show up every day with discipline, only then you can. Consistency, yes. Time management, clarity, we'll talk about these things in the coming slides. So good memory power, good ranks in schools, good English vocabulary, grammar, beautiful handwriting. How many of you think you need to have good English grammar and vocabulary and good handwriting to clear the exam? How many of you think that your handwriting is a constraint? Good. Good to see less number of hands. Okay, this we talked about. I would say none of these actually matter. When it comes to looking at people who have already cleared, having interacted with so many people who have cleared throughout my training journey and throughout my service, I can confidently say none of this actually matters. To some extent, yes, but it's not something which you cannot achieve. Even with respect to memory, no, you don't need to have a great memory. You need to have analytical skills. You need to have that ability and aptitude to analyze a particular topic or concept and present it in multiple dimensions. That's what we are looking at, not memory. If you have memory, it's an added thing, but not a mandatory prerequisite to clear the exam. So what is UPSC actually testing us? It's not a memory competition. It's not a IQ test. It's not a English fluency test. It's not only reserved for those who have good gadgets and who can afford good institutes. I can tell you very good examples. I'll come to it. Dependent solely on coaching centers. Okay, looking at this, I just wanted to share a story of one of my batchmates. See, you see my upbringing and my life. I did schooling from a decent school in my town. Then I could afford good coaching for my medical entrance. I could get a good rank. State level, I scored around 200 rank, and I got into the best government college. After that, I could afford coaching in Bangalore for UPSC. So majority of it I did on my own, but coaching was definitely helpful. The guidance was helpful. Then I cleared the exam. This is my education background. Okay, I'll give a parallel background. There is a guy from Bihar. Till 8th, he studied in government school. In 8th, there was a family issue and he fled from his house. He worked as a laborer somewhere in Jharkhand. Then that supervisor, whoever, he asked him to continue his education. He cleared 10th from government. Eventually, he worked few odd jobs and gave UPSC, cleared the exam, and he trained with me. So what I'm trying to tell here is your education background, your financial background does not matter for UPSC. What is UPSC looking at is whether you are doing what is required for the exam now or not. From here, it's a different stage. Prelims, mains, interview. Are you doing enough for the prelims? Are you doing enough for the mains? Are you preparing what is required for the interview? That's what matters. Not what you have done in your graduation or what you have done in your school days. Okay? So start from a fresh slate, an empty slate, and you can also do it. If that person who has fled from his house, worked as a laborer, took odd jobs, if he could clear, we are having at least, I think none of us has to worry about what we are going to eat in the afternoon. Your meals are provided, at least by your parents or yourself. Nobody is worried about that, right? You all have a roof to study. You are coming to institute, that's a privilege. Okay, so we are all privileged. There are many people in the country who are competing for the same exam with lot more grit and consistency, sitting in a rural area without good electricity, without good coaching facilities, without good internet connectivity. Okay, you are competing with them. So you are supposed to work more because you have more facilities. There should not be any complaints, there should not be any distractions, there should not be anything undone. You should do everything what is required for the exam, right? Let me know if I am boring you. We'll take it the other way also. Okay. These things you all gave the keywords. You need unwavering consistency, intellectual curiosity, self-discipline and resilience, objective thinking, and articulate writing skills. So it's not the grammar and vocabulary what matters for UPSC. It is your analytical ability and how you are presenting that in your exam. You can use the basic grammar, basic English, and still present in a very good way, communicate your answer in a very good way. That eventually you will learn with practice and revision. But keep this in your mind that English vocabulary and grammar are not obstacles in your course of clearing this exam. You can go through toppers answer copies. You will find how did this person clear the exam. There are so many spelling mistakes, so many grammatical mistakes. They cleared because the concept they are explaining in a very good way. They are actually adequately addressing what is required for the particular question. Okay. And let me tell you, there are so many people who came from their mother tongue in school and PU and then cleared the UPSC, giving in it English medium. Okay. So everything is possible. Only thing is you need to put all in efforts. How is UPSC different from the other exams which you all have cleared? You all are here because you have done your graduations. That means you have passed your exams in school and colleges. So if you can pass that exam, you can also pass UPSC, but with a different approach. How is that exam different from UPSC? In school, it's mostly rote learning. Our educational system is as such. If you know these are the important questions, you learn those. Same kind of questions will come. You answer, replicate exactly. If there are 100 students in the classroom, 100 students will read the same notes, same answer. They'll write the same answer depending on their memory power. If I can remember 10 lines, somebody can remember 11 lines, he will write 11 lines. That's it. Marking is almost based on that. But in UPSC, it's not just dumping what is there in your memory. If you have read a particular topic, say agriculture, you know about Indian agriculture, you know about world agriculture, you know about the conditions which affect the agriculture, you know about the schemes which are related to agriculture, you know about the issues and challenges the India and world are facing with respect to agriculture. But when I ask you a question, what is the contribution of agriculture to India's GDP? Is there a need to rethink on India's economic, priorities with respect to agriculture? So this is an analytical question. You cannot just reproduce, see, I know the statistics about Indian agriculture, climatic conditions, nothing. You have to analyze based on the data which you have to analyze and make an answer. It's just like you have A to Z alphabets. Now you are making a word or a sentence using the content which you have. That's the core thing which you need to remember about your syllabus. So in this, what I'm trying to communicate is you cannot make notes for each and every answer. Don't ever try to find from the previous year questions, do I have a direct answer for this? No, you will never have, and you are never supposed to have. What you need to have is enough content and understanding, conceptual understanding about that particular topic, so that you can give an answer on your own, right? The same thing what I am talking about is multidimensional linkage and synthesis, multiple perspectives and balanced viewpoints. So this is something which you would have heard many times. Your answer should be balanced. Your case studies in ethics should be balanced. For someone who have done one round of preparation, it will make sense. When in a question they ask critically analyze. Critically analyze, you have to give both the sides. What are the positives, what are the negatives? But you have to conclude it also. What is your opinion on that? Your opinion per se is not what you feel personally about it. It's the informed opinion. Based on all the facts which you got about it, all the conceptual understanding which you got about that particular topic, what do you think conclusively? Based on the arguments for and against what you made, you should give a concluding argument. To give that, you cannot find it ready-made anywhere. Many people claim I can give you 100 introductions and 100 conclusions, which you can mug up and reciprocate. But that will not give you any edge. You will be on the average side. To be able to write the introductions and conclusions on your own, you should develop deep conceptual understanding rather than reading multiple facts and memorizing multiple facts. Think about it, brainstorm. Say for example, what is currently going on, NEET issue is going on. Okay, so if I ask you whether what the protesters has done, is it a right way of approaching to give your grievance to the government? So there could be arguments for, argument against. People can say, yes, this is the right way, this is democracy, you have the right to represent, right to protest and tell your grievance to the government. Some people say, no, this is not the right way, they should have given a formal petition and waited for the government's action. And government has also taken action on the NTA officials. Okay, everything is going on, what is the need for protest? There are both the views. In the end, there should be a logical conclusion to it. How will you come at the logical conclusion? As a UPSC aspirant and as someone who is going to serve as a government servant, civil servant, you are bound by constitutional provisions and values. You are bound by law. So you should always see through the lens of constitution and law and come to a conclusion. That is the balanced view. Not just that you are more empathized with the protesters, you say, yes, this is how the government should be questioned. this is how people should resign whenever there is an issue. No, that's not the correct answer. Yes, they have the right to protest. However, the government should also act proactively in bringing educational reforms rather than giving knee-jerk reactions. This is something a different type of conclusion where you are showing your analytical ability and deep conceptual understanding of your responsibility as a civil servant. That's what UPSC is looking at. Today it might not make sense for you, but when you are writing answers, when you are getting your answers corrected and getting feedback, then whatever I am telling right now will make sense for you. Okay. And one more thing, since we have touched upon a current affair topic, I'll also tell you briefly how to go about current affairs. So NEET issue, same issue we'll take. What are the current affairs with respect to NEET issue we are looking at, which will be useful for our exam? Any specific topics which you have learned so far, which are useful for the exam? If someone can remember anything, you can tell.
Examination amendment bill 2020.
Good. Anything else? Who resigned?
Education.
Education Minister resigned. So is UPSC going to ask in 2026 June, based on the protest of NEET examination, who is the minister who resigned? Option A, Dharmendra Pradhan; B, Amit Shah; C, etc., etc. No, that's not the question they are going to ask. What are they going to ask in prelims or mains? Any question which you can frame by yourselves.
The application can be submitted for.
Good. So the procedure, who can actually, the education minister, how he has resigned, what is the constitutional provision behind it, under which article? Okay. Who is the authority to accept that resignation? President or Prime Minister? President, on the advice of Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers, Prime Minister, President. Prime Minister, if there is no option of Council of Ministers, Prime Ministers. So this is how you need to look at the current affairs. Remove all the junk. So much argument will come. The entire news article will be about what someone has talked about the protest, what the government has done. No. Your focus should be what is important for my exam. What can come from this current affair for prelims, for mains. If you are interested in interview, what opinion can they ask me about this? Similarly for mains, what would be the question on this issue? This is related to which sector? Education. So education, what is the repetitive topic asked in UPSC? NEP, New Education Policy. So they can ask you about NEP again. They can ask you to suggest reforms with respect to NEET exam only, anything similar, how to avoid such issues, what are the reforms, what are the various committee recommendations. What is the committee formed recently with respect to this NEET issue?
Exam task.
Who is heading it? So these things you can use in mains. They will not ask you in prelims what is the committee which is formed for NEET reforms. Instead, you can write in mains when you are talking about educational reforms. By then, Nilakani committee would have given some suggestions. You can use those suggestions as suggested by this should be done. So this is what you are looking at when you are reading your newspapers. Okay. So this saves a lot of time if you go by this approach. But the prerequisite for this is you need to know your syllabus. If you don't know education is one of the topic in your syllabus, if you don't know agriculture is a topic in your syllabus, and what are the subtopics, you will not be able to relate. Am I making sense? Okay. Again, few of the myths. Even I was thinking moving to Delhi is mandatory. I dropped off just because the idea I didn't like. The food will be different, climate will be different. I thought I will not be able to cope up, but I did a good thing by not going to Delhi. Because, yeah, tell me, how many of you think you should have been in Delhi going to the prestigious or so-called institutes which can give you ranks, which always publicizes on the front page of the newspaper every year, I got AIR 1 200. Nobody is of that opinion, right? Good. Actually, what happens is you are an aspirant, you are a customer for every of them. They'll be giving a common course for everyone, but you are not guaranteed a personalized approach for yourselves. Okay, no personal attention on you. If you are a self-motivated person, yes, but there is no need to go there and struggle. If you know how to approach for the exam, you can do it as well from your home or an institute like this. No issues. Okay. English we already spoke about. Coachings we spoke about. UPSC asks everything under the sun. Everything under the sun should be covered. You should know about each and every topic to clear UPSC. How many of you think this is right? Are you all sleeping or awake? Okay. So you think it is right or wrong? It should be either ways. No, you cannot be silent. Say it's wrong or it's right. It's wrong. You have a defined syllabus, right? Defined syllabus is there. Very detailed syllabus is there. For your mains, GS1, these are the topics UPSC is going to ask. They have clearly given it in their notification. Many of us fail to understand that. We keep on reading multiple magazines of current affairs, multiple sources for polity, multiple sources for economy, environment, etc. You need not read 100 books. You need to fix your sources. Polity, one source. One classroom notes and one source. Economy, one source. History, one source. What you need to cross check is whether this source is covering all the topics in the syllabus mentioned or not. If some topic is missing, get it from somewhere else, add it to your notes. Okay, that's how you complete your source for your preparation. Once your source is fixed, don't deviate. There will be many temptations. 999, 999 rupees, 3 classes, you will complete entire polity in one shot. 24 hours marathon polity, 24 hours economy, entirely for prelims and mains. No, nothing is going to work. Whatever you have started with, stick to it. Complete that source. Fill the lacunae from various sources. Use YouTube, use your other books, internet, anything. Fill that part. And once you have done it, trust in that source. Okay, if you doubt your source, nobody is going to help you. You can always do value addition to your source. Okay, say for agriculture, you had 10 data points. You can always add a 11th data point. Okay, for that you don't have to need a new book entirely by putting your original source aside. So as much as you are loyal to your original source, revise it multiple times. It will pay back to you. It's my personal experience. The mistake I committed was I used to float around. Like for a month I used to read 3-4 magazines. I used to read 3-4 books for polity, but that did not help. And I realized it in a very later stage where I stick to my own sources, my previous sources. Maybe I would have done better, I don't know. But this is what is from my experience. You have to have defined sources, read it multiple times, revise it multiple times. You can reproduce from that. You can make multiple answers from your original source. Tell me, how many hours do you study? You asked me this question, you remember? 8 hours. You? 14? 6? 8? So how many of you think to become a topper or to clear UPSC, you need to study for the maximum number of hours? No, right? What should be actually done? See, 16 hours if you are sitting, say with Lakshmikant, you have Lakshmikant in front of you, 16 hours has passed by, you read one chapter. does not matter. 6 hours, you have split that into 6 separate slots. Here you read one chapter of Lakshmikant. Here you read second chapter of Lakshmikant. You got bored. Maybe you shifted to environment, read another topic. Shifted to geography, read another topic. Again Lakshmikant or economy. This works better. Because see, our concentration will not last for more than 40-45 minutes. After that, you are just zombieing, you are just watching the paper. Most of us will not even turn the paper for more than half an hour or 1 hour. Happened to you? Relatable? So there were days where I sat with a book without turning the page. My initial days of preparation. So this happens to every one of us. What you need to realize is it's not the number of hours, it's how you are planning your time. If you have 6 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, how are you planning it? How are you efficiently using that particular time? Okay, that's what matters. Take breaks. Read for 45 minutes, take 15 minutes break. Nothing will happen. This 45 minutes will be effective. The next 45 minutes will be effective. You will concentrate better. You will be able to remember the topic better. So instead of thinking about how many hours I should sit, how many midnight days I should spend in studying, plan your schedule, plan much ahead. Since you are in the beginning stage, plan from now. This month what you are going to do, this week what you are going to do, today what is your schedule. Okay, we should be aware. Today after this session, what are we going to do? After the classes, what am I going to do? You should have a plan before the start of the day. Only then you will be able to complete the syllabus. And this should be very refined. If you are spending 45 minutes, you should be very selfish. If I am reading a topic, how is it useful for my exam? Be very selfish. Always think in terms of how is it useful for my exam? How is it going to help me clear the exam? In this 45 minutes, I am reading DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, from Polity, from any source, maybe your classroom or Lakshmikant. So if I read DPSP, I know there are multiple questions from prelims every year. There could be a question in mains also. And I know what are these questions also. I have seen the PYQs. "45 minutes, you read DPSP. You also roughly go through your PYQs so that you know where to focus more to, like we talked about the memory part, right? So only these things you need to remember, repetitive things. That's where your memory part comes in. So if you analyze like this and study, your time will be used very efficiently. Okay, how many of you study like this? I was not studying like this in my initial days of preparation. It's only towards the end I started doing this. Had I known it in the very beginning, maybe in 6 months I would have completed all my syllabus as per the requirement of the exam. Instead, what I did, I read DPSP from Lakshmikant, I read DPSP from internet, constitution, everywhere. I don't remember anything. Because I don't know what is going to be asked in prelims and mains. I didn't know where to focus. I didn't know I need to remember what are the Gandhi and what are the liberal and other things. I didn't know what is the provision which is related with respect to women. Okay. So those articles you need to remember because you know UPSC has already asked. UPSC has asked what is Article 44. Okay. What is Article 40? What is the provision related to Panchayat Raj? UPSC has already asked. Okay. UPSC itself is saying I am going to ask from this area. Okay. So that's how you manage your time. Any doubts in this? Anything you want me to add in this? Similarly for mains also. The more you analyze your previous year questions and then sit for studying, your time will be efficiently used. Okay. Yeah, the crux of the thing is you don't need to be an extraordinary student. You don't need to be a very bright student who has secured first rank throughout his school and college. But from the start of the preparation, are you willing to become that extraordinary person who is consistent throughout the preparation, who is doing the same drill day in and out as per the requirement of the exam? That's the question you need to put yourselves and follow it. Again, everything seems very vast. GS1, there are 20 topics. GS2, you need to read 3-4 subjects. GS3, economy, environment, so many things are there to cover. And GS4, ethics, again, it's a very deep subject. Even though the books look very small, when you try to attempt the questions, everything seems you need to read a lot. So how to approach it? CSAT, how many of you are afraid of CSAT or very confident about CSAT? You cannot be confident about CSAT till you give at least 5 of your previous UPSC papers and score enough marks in that. All of us can clear CSAT, but only thing is we don't give enough time to it. We all think it's just a qualifying paper and we'll do it in the end. No, it does not work like that. We need to plan much ahead. So everything, it might seem like there is a big mountain to climb. Right now, when you see, even if you pile all the sources, it will come up to this height. Lakshmikant, Shankar IAS, environment, economy, some other book. If you pile up everything, 12 months of current affairs magazines, it will be a big pile, right? So it seems tough. How are you going to cover all those things? How are you going to remember all those things? How are you going to make answers out of it, right? But when you break it down, you have roughly 10 to 12 months, say in the start of your preparation. Break it down. Start with the foundation. What is the foundation? NCERTs. Do you need to read all the NCERTs? No. Many toppers have told what is required. Okay, we all know. Multiple times we all are bombarded with this information. Only this NCERT is required. Okay, if you have any doubts, go and cross check. You can open class 11th, Fundamentals of Physical Geography. Each page you will find one previous year question. That book is hardly 60 pages. Okay, at least you will get 3-4 prelims questions and 1 or 2 mains questions through that. At least you will be able to answer. If not exactly the same content they are asking, you will be able to relate the topic and write something on that. Okay, as simple as that. So stick to the sources from which UPSC is repeatedly asking the questions. From class 6th, do I need to start? Yes, please do start. Class 6 should not take 2 hours to read one book. When I tell you start from class 6, you cannot tell this entire week I am going to read class 6th NCERT. Next week I will start class 7th. No. You should allocate your time according to the importance. Like I told you, you should be selfish. What is the cost to benefit? Time to benefit. If I am spending 2 hours, what is the benefit out of it? That's how you need to decide how much time I should allocate. How much time I should allocate to a particular subject. Polity, how many questions are being asked every year in prelims? 18 to 20. Geography, how many questions? From mapping part, how many questions? 3 or 4 questions will come. So you have to give your time accordingly. You cannot say I will see map in the end and then go. No. There are 3 or 4 questions coming and repeatedly from the same areas. From the Mediterranean area or from areas where there is conflict, Israel, Lebanon or Ukraine, Russia. So you know where the questions are going to come from. So if you have not prepared, that's a mistake on your part. You cannot blame UPSC. UPSC is asking random stuff, right? UPSC is being consistent. UPSC is asking map-based questions, 2 or 3 questions in every prelims. And most of them are repetitive from the previous years. And most of them are related to current affairs. Current affairs also not random current affairs. Yes, there will be one question which nobody knows why they asked it. But that is not the deciding question for you. You are supposed to qualify the paper. Get more than the cutoff marks. So you cannot see 10 questions out of 100 which are tough and say UPSC is becoming unpredictable. The rest of the 60-70 questions are predictable. They are from previous year questions. They are from current affairs. They are from static. Right? So understand this logic. Remove all your fear about the unpredictability and remove all your fear about climbing the mountain. It's like a long trek. It's not a one-day expedition. It's like a long trek. If you have ever been to a Himalayan trek, first you go to some base camp. Day 1, you climb 10 kilometers. Day 2, you climb another 10 kilometers. That's how it is. So it's a long trek which you have signed up for. And in these 10-12 months, first you do your foundation NCRTs, then go for your main sources. Like many proven sources are there. For polity, Lakshmikant is there. For environment, Shankar IAS or your class notes is there. Similarly, for other subjects also, we can discuss about the sources in the next session, right? Then what has to be done in between? You read something today, you spent 6 hours on that, and you are opening that subject after a month. Again, you will be spending 6 hours. So wait, where is the efficiency here? No efficiency. You are wasting your 12 hours. Instead, you spend 6 hours today. The next day, you spend 30 minutes revising it. 30 minutes is doable. 10 minutes before lunch, 10 minutes after lunch, another 10 minutes before sleeping. Whatever you have read the previous day, give 30 minutes to revise that. Just flip through. Okay, this is the important point I've seen. Flip through. Try to recall. After a week, revise for 15 minutes. Same topic. Just go through. Whenever you feel like, just open it, go through. Revise for 15 minutes. Then after 1 month when you open, this topic will be still fresh in your mind. Understood? So you are saving your 6 hours there by spending 45 minutes for revision. Revision is the toughest thing to do. Any aspirant who can crack revision, who can do the boring stuff, will be in a better position to clear. I was very bad at revision. That is the reason I took a bit longer time, or like I told you, I would have done much better if I followed revision. If you don't revise, whatever time you are spending in your classroom, waste. Whatever time you are spending reading that particular topic, wasted. So revise. If required, you write in front of your study chair, revise karke, you write in very big bold letters to remind yourselves again and again. Same thing. This is the regular process. Actually, we tend to do the revision here before the exam. People think, let me complete all the syllabus for prelims first. It's like checklist. Polity I have done, economy I have done, history I have done, geography I have done. You wanted to do the checklist, that gives satisfaction. But you fail to revise. You fail to do the previous year questions. You fail to do the practice questions. All this is wasted. You come at this stage, like after completing all your current affairs answer writing, and then you think, okay, I'll revise before the exams. No, it's not going to work. It will not help you. You will not be able to clear. So at each stage, each day, you have to keep a slot for revision. 1 hour in a day for revision will save many months of your preparation or years of your preparation, I'll say. Understood? This is the cycle. You read, you think, write and revise. This is mainly for your mains exam. Say for example, today you read an article or a topic in your static syllabus on environment. You read about global warming. Okay. You understood what is global warming, how is it affecting, what are the challenges, what are countries doing to fight it, what are the different conventions against it, what is the achievement so far, what are India's commitments. These are the different things you need to know under that topic. Now you have read once. Next, what is the next step? You have to revise. What is the next step to that? You need to try to write down whatever you have understood. Or take a previous year mains question on that topic. Try to write it on your own. Whatever comes to your mind. It might be very naive. It need not to be perfect. You just need to imbibe the habit of writing, reproducing what you are thinking. Okay? The earlier you start, the better it is. You don't need to have completed your syllabus to start answer writing. You can start your answer writing today. You read an editorial today, you can pick a question on the editorial, write an answer. It need not to be perfect. It need not to get 7 marks out of 10. That's not the goal. The goal is to break the inertia. We all have inertia. If I pick one of you and ask you to speak for 10 minutes, how many of you think you will be able to do it? Majority of us has that inertia. Only few will be exceptional who are okay with that and who have been exposed to that throughout their school days. They will be able to speak. Today, if I am able to take a 1 hour session on this is not just like yesterday I have decided and today I came and I am able to speak here. I have gone through the process. I know what it is. I have spoken like this multiple times, individually or to a crowd. Now I am confident. Whatever I am telling is right and I know how to articulate it. I know how to take the things forward now. It's practice only. Okay. So you should start your practice as early as possible. Try to write down. Don't worry about perfection. You are never going to be perfect with answer writing. Nobody. AIR 1 is going to secure 51% of marks. It's not 100% of marks. Go and see. Out of total marks for the exam, what is the percentage secured by AIR 1? 51, hardly 52. So it's not about perfection. It's about doing what is required for the exam. Let us rank these sources based on the importance of them for the exam. How will you rank monthly magazines and compilations out of 10? How important it is?
Like major ministries which is important, that gives major different rural areas.
Hmm.
The women
No, okay. Let me put it other way. If there are 10 points, how will you distribute the 10 points to you? How many points will you give to monthly magazines based on the importance for the exam? If you have 10 hours, how many hours would you spend on monthly magazines and compilations to clear the exam?
Nearly for 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So you are, okay, 40 minutes you will be spending in 10 hours. Newspaper analysis?
15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes. Standard reference books?
But core subject is like 1 hour 40 minutes.
Okay. Basic NCERT concepts and foundation? 10 to 15 minutes. How are you going to spend the rest of your time? 10 minutes. Okay. Next. Core syllabus?
PYQs are like 1 hour to 1 hour.
1.5 hour.
9 hours.
1.5 hour. Okay. Okay. Your division is okay, but you are not reading enough. See, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Hardly 5 hours you are reading. Good, but your division is right. See, this pyramid, from this pyramid, what you need to make out is, as aspirants, and because of huge publicity which is available in the internet and in the newspapers, we all tend to deviate and spend more time on monthly magazines and compilations. There is always an anxiety. This month's magazine I need to complete. For the upcoming part test in test series, I need to complete June, July magazine. Followed by newspaper. We all have heard that newspaper is very important for UPSC. You need to read the newspaper daily. Questions come from newspaper. Everything, right? So you tend to spend more time on newspaper analysis also, while we ignore these things. On the other hand, if you are in the beginning of your preparation, what I would suggest is focus on these 3 things. These can wait. These can wait, and if you have time, allot 1 hour in a day. If you have time. Till the time you finish your core syllabus. Till the time you are confident that I know each and every topic in the syllabus, main syllabus. GS1, I know each and every topic. I have notes for each and every topic. Till that time, don't prioritize these two things. You need to be in touch, but you don't need to read every magazine, every newspaper available in the market. That's not going to help. Be in touch with the regular news, whatever is happening. Stick to one newspaper, go through. Like I told you, whatever you feel is related to your exam, just have a look at that, because monthly magazines will be available for you in the end also. Compilations will be available for you in the end also, right? If you are not perfect with this standard references and NCRTs, you cannot write a good answer. You cannot be able to solve a prelims question which is coming from static, right? So if you look at it, 100 questions are there in prelims, right? Usually around 55 to 60 questions are static or static based current affairs. Okay. Another 15 to 20 questions are patterned questions. Patterned in the sense map based questions. Or UPSC is asking current affairs based on international organizations. These are patterned questions where you can identify. UPSC is asking from state of the forest survey report. One question they are asking. UPSC is asking on minerals. What is district mineral foundation? What are the provisions, etc. So these are predictable patterned questions. Question may change, but comes from the same topic. How many questions are remaining? 16, 20. Another hardly 20 questions. These will be maybe completely new, completely based on current affairs, science and tech, defense, current affairs related. Maybe a new satellite which is launched, or a new breakthrough in biotechnology, they are going to ask. So for these 20 questions, you need this. For these 80 questions, you need this part. So you should allocate your time also accordingly. Don't run for the 20 before you finish the 80. You will be knocked out. You will not win the game, right? If you are not focusing on the 80, where is the chance of winning the game? You will not be able to clear the cutoff, right? Understood? Okay, these are all our favorite hobbies. Book hoarding. All the available standard sources, 3 sources for polity, 3 sources for economy. Somebody says this source is good, Sriram IAS notes is good for economy, or somebody says instead of Shankar IAS we can read this source. This is much crisper. They are including the that last previous year question on environment, which was not there in any other source. It was there in this book. Let's read this book. There was a history book, some very bulky book. I just picked up in the middle of my preparation. I already read my NCRTs, I already read my spectrum and other the standard sources. Just because 1 or 2 questions came from that book, I picked it up. In the end, I don't remember the NCRTs also, spectrum also, this one also. Towards the end of my preparation, I had to go back to my original sources. This did not come into any help. So stick to your sources. This I am repeating again and again. Stick to your sources. If you have this habit, please leave it now. Don't hoard any books. Keep as minimal as required. As you go ahead in your preparation, the goal is to cut down your bulk of your sources. Make micro notes, make summary notes, and leave the bulky books. Okay, that should be the goal. Easily revisable, focusing on the important topics which are multiple times asked in the exams. Make notes as such. Okay. Strategy hopping. Today you have a plan. We all would have made a schedule. Not once, multiple times. Because the previous one we did not follow. From tomorrow, another fresh schedule. From next week, another fresh schedule. That should not be the case. Make a plan, stick to it, follow it, and then you will have results. Otherwise, there is no point in having a schedule also. Zero revision, we spoke about how important revision is. PYQs, we spoke about. YouTube addiction. So after coming into UPSC, it's not just you are watching a movie content or some other content, reels on YouTube or Instagram. It will be more about UPSC only. It will be more about those trending interviews, mock interviews, or more about what a particular topper is saying about your optional, more about any new course, 24 hours marathon like I told you, somebody has launched. So leave all those things. Use YouTube where it is required. You feel a particular subtopic has been missed in your class, go to YouTube, take lecture of that one class, make notes, leave it there. Okay, be very clear. Answer writing, start it off as soon as possible. And these two things, they are not there in our syllabus. Okay, don't compare with your peers. Don't compare with someone who has already done the preparation for 2 years. They are at a different level. They would have already completed the syllabus. They know things better than you. So you don't have to compare with them. You have to do the things right now. Okay, everyone's competition is with themselves. UPSC does not work in the regular way of other competitive exams, like your entrance for medical or engineering. It does not work that way. You have to compete with yourselves. There is a cutoff. Your aim is to clear that cutoff and get a 10 or 15 marks more than that cutoff. You know what UPSC is going to ask, you know what to do. So your metric should be whether I have done these parts what are required for the exam. You should compete with yourselves. Don't compare with your peer saying, okay, I have read more than him only, this is enough. No. Today in this class of 25 or 30, you might be the topper if I put a test for prelims. You might be the topper, but that's not going to help. Okay. You need to do what is required for the exam. You need to score at least 100 plus marks in all the previous year papers when you are attempting those previous year papers. Or keep a target of 120 if you want to be very sure. Okay, that's your metric. Don't compare with other people. You can get 20 marks difference compared to the second ranker in this classroom. That will not help. Okay, so don't compare with your peers, compare with yourselves, compare with the schedule which you have made for yourself, compare with the targets which you have set for yourselves. PYQs importance, they are your true compass. If you ever feel directionless, if you ever feel I am not able to understand in this particular topic what is the important one which I need to focus on, always go to PYQs. PYQs will tell you where to stress upon. Okay, and PYQs one more advantage is, say for example there is a question, Indian constitution is a limited constitution. This question, same statement they have asked 2-3 times just by changing the options, or which of the following is a limited constitution. Option will be Indian constitution. So when you are able to do the previous year questions, understand that particular concept, at least 10-15 questions in this current paper will be a cakewalk for you. You will save time also because you have already attempted that question. This is unique for each one of you, how your day should be. What I would suggest is it should be planned. Some may be night owls, you will be comfortable reading in the night when everybody is asleep. Or some may start early in the day, you will wake up at 4 and start it. But what I am suggesting is divide your available time such a way where you are not bogged down or where you are just staring at your book. It should be useful. Like I told you, if you are spending 6 hours, it should be efficiently used. Okay, end of the day, you should feel, yes, this part of the syllabus I have confidently completed. I can answer prelims and mains question on this part or this particular topic. That should be the goal. Before closing of the day, that should be the goal. And for the next day, what am I going to read? Before sleeping, plan what am I going to read for the next day. Next day, I have class for 6 hours. I'll have 3 hours or 4 hours for studying. What am I going to do in that 3 or 4 hours? Okay, that plan should be very clear in your mind. take 2 minutes and just brainstorm and try to put the points whatever is coming to your mind. Try to visualize how are you going to attempt this answer, what are the different dimensions you are going to touch upon if it is a 10-mark answer. Don't go for perfection. It can be anything. It can be silly. It can be unrelated, related, whatever it is. Whatever is coming to your mind. Done? We don't need a full answer. You just need to brainstorm and know what you're going to write. Take another 30 seconds, finish it off. Okay, time's up. Okay, so to write this answer, you need some level of preparation. You need some content which you have already read. But to evaluate this answer, you just need an analytical mind. You just need to know what this question is demanding. Say you are now an examiner. You are not writing this answer. You are examining. You are correcting the answer. Okay. So as an examiner, when I say discuss the socio-economic impacts of climate change in India, what would you expect in my answer? I am submitting one answer copy for you to correct. If you are the examiner, what would you look for? What are the key aspects which you would look for to say this question is completely addressed?
Different fields that climate change might affect.
So socio-economic, what are the different fields? So I should have written about in detail about what are the broadly, what are the different aspects of it, different dimensions and fields out under socio-economic. Since I am asking about socio-economic, you will expect that I'll talk about, say, under the social factor, how is health impacted, how is gender parity impacted, how is migration impacted, how is standard of life or quality of life is impacted, right? Different aspects. Under the economic, for India, how will the agriculture productivity get impacted? How will employment get impacted? How will your international relations with respect to economy get impacted? Trade get impacted? So you will expect that. What else?
What are the major programs that implemented to overcome all the issues?
Okay, as an add-on from what is asked in the question, as an add-on, you will expect what are the existing policies or schemes in one or two lines. Since that is a major not the major aspect of the question, maybe after addressing this should be the major part. After addressing this, you will expect what are the policies, schemes, or way forward for this. Okay, what else?
Climate reports.
Climate
Reports.
reports, data. Report or data. Where will you include this? Will you just mention a subheading saying report and data, or you will include in some part of your answer? In the beginning or in the end or in the middle?
We're talking about the impact in particular fields, let's say agriculture, and then what is the reduction?
You will substantiate. Instead of giving vague grammar, saying that because of climate change, agriculture will be impacted. Everybody knows. As an aspirant, as an informed person, you should substantiate. According to this report, in the past few years, because of change in global temperature of this much, agriculture productivity has gone down by this much. Something to substantiate. See, again, when I say reports, you need not worry how many data should I remember. For agriculture, you collect 10 or 15 data points which you can repeatedly use wherever it is applicable. Climate change is one topic in your syllabus. Regarding climate change, if you have 10 data points, any such answer wherever it is applicable, you can use it. Maybe you don't have a data point on agriculture, but you have a data point on trade, migration, you can use. Each answer, if you have 1 or 2 data points, that will add weight to your answer. More? What else? What else will you expect in my answer? Did this completely address the question? Discuss the socio-economic impacts of climate change in India. You have discussed what are the different aspects, policies, schemes you have substantiated with report. Disasters? That comes in this social. One of the aspect will be disasters, climate disasters. Okay, good. We have arrived at a decent answer. You will get more than average marks for this if you write like this. Added 1 introduction, 1 conclusion. What should be there in the introduction?
What is climate change?
That is one way. You can say what is climate change. But this per se is not specifically pressing on knowing what is climate change. It is assuming that you already know climate change, and it is assuming that you know what are the impacts of that climate change. So you should think 1 step ahead. Yes, if you are not getting any other thing, you can define climate change. That is a decent introduction. Good. Start with an example. Recently, India has seen such and such situations, or start with a data point. India, in the past 1 decade, these many instances have happened. Something like that you can start. Or since it is specifically focusing on India, we can talk about why India is vulnerable to climate change. The diverse geography, the large population, in that population also diverse economic livelihoods, which are dependent, majority is dependent on agriculture. So climate directly affects agriculture, so it will affect the standard of living. So something of that you frame 1 or 2 lines, why India is vulnerable to climate change. Then you can go to what are the social impacts, what are the economic impacts. Under social, again, you can bifurcate 3 or 4, depending on whether it's a 10 marker or a 15 marker. Economic, 3 or 4 points. Then 1 or 2 lines you will write about the policies and schemes. Way forward. Conclusion. So does this feel tough to go about like this, break down the answer like this and add few points? Even today, without having read about climate change, if you can break down the answer like this, just put the subheadings like this, you will get 2 to 3 marks for a 10 marker. So instead, if you write saying that there is a lot of climate change in India because of which social economic impacts are there, 0 value. Repeating the words in the question, writing it in a different language, 0 value. You should always be very focused in your approach of answer writing. Each and every word which you are going to write matters because there is a time constraint. Don't write any fillers, don't write any sentence which does not add any value to it. Instead, if you write half page which has such content, it will fetch more marks than you filling 2 pages with unrelated content. Understood? If you imbibe this core aspect of answer writing, the journey is easy. Today you read an editorial, search for a question on that particular topic, try to write an answer. You will be able to write. So for answer writing, I would suggest whenever you read a particular topic of your static syllabus, take out the previous year questions, mains questions, try to brainstorm. Don't jump to writing, try to brainstorm like this. This is the brainstorming we did, collective. Somebody told me you have to write different fields, somebody told me you need to include data, introduction, etc., etc. Same thing you need to think, what am I going to write in this answer? Forget about the content. You might not have the data point today, but you know a data point is required, example is required, a best practice from the world is required in this answer that will add value, give me more marks. So it makes easy for you to search for the notes. When you are reading current affairs magazine, it makes easy for you to know what is important for your mains. Current affairs may not be asked in the prelims, but those current affairs you can use in your mains answers. And it is dependent on you, what you choose to study and what you choose to remember. There is no rule that you need to remember these examples only. Any example you can remember. For climate change best practice, if some country, China is doing sponge cities, something like that. Norway is doing something about the rivers. So those things you can remember, collect in your notes under climate change. Whenever such answer comes, you can just use it there. Understood? So this is a much simplified way of answer writing. To understand this, you will take 1 year of preparation, but knowing it beforehand, you will have an edge. So if you want me to repeat, I will repeat, but this is the most important aspect of answer writing. Understood, everyone? Feeling better about answer writing? Doable? Good. See, that's the generic answer. We would have written, out of the answers which you have written, there could be generic answers. Somebody would have written 3-4 paragraphs, 20 lines, without any of the points which we discussed earlier. It's totally fine. You have to break the inertia. You have to start writing, learn from your mistakes, try to improve in the next answer. That's how it works. It's a loop. Write, improvise, write. There is no waiting for content. Don't wait for content. Don't think that I'll read 3-4 pages on this, then I'll write. Try to brainstorm, write, repeat and write. These flowcharts, Indian map, these are all additions. If you can explain which are the most vulnerable areas, since it's a 10 marker, you don't have to draw extensive maps. One small map where you can show this is the climatic disaster in this region. In this region, this is the vulnerable area. Like that you can show. That will add some value to your answer. So coming to the end of the session, I have told many things you need to do. Complete your syllabus, do multiple revisions, do test series, all these things. About answer writing, we spoke previous year questions. But without doing any things also, you can crack the exam. Okay, that's the good news I have. So it will be in the next slide probably. So this is how you crack the exam. There is no such good news. Don't believe anyone. People will claim saying that follow my one course, one-stop solution for polity, one-stop solution for history. No. The one-stop solution is UPSC syllabus. You have to complete the syllabus adequately. You could have done 80%, 90%, totally fine. Nobody does 100%. One question you would have missed, fine, totally fine. But 9 questions you should be able to answer. History you have read from some source. You have perfected that source. Say there are 10 questions in prelims on history, you will be able to do 7 or 8. Enough to clear the exam. 3 questions not from your source, totally fine. Leave it. But the rest of the 7 questions you should get 100% right. That's the goal. Okay, crisp. The entire crux of the session is that. So keep this in mind. It's not a sprint. Today we had a session, we are motivated. Today we go and read 10 hours. Tomorrow bunk. Doesn't work that way. You should be consistent. If you can spend 5 hours in a day, spend it every day. And spend it in a planned way. Don't sit for studying without having a plan. If you are sitting for studying today for 3 hours, you should know end of 3 hours what is the outcome. Which part of the syllabus you are going to cover, how important it is for the exam. Okay? Again, the initial thing which we spoke about, we don't need to have great memory power, great English, no. The examination does not select the smartest candidates, it selects the candidate who keeps improving every single day. So, are we ready to improve ourselves? That is the question you need to ask to yourself. Okay? So, every day before starting your studying, you should know what am I going to improve today. 1% improvement, 0.01% improvement. It's fine. It's better than nothing. Okay. People may feel, okay, 10 days I was sick. I couldn't complete my schedule. How should I do it now? It's okay. Start from the 11th day of your schedule and try to spend half an hour extra to cover the other topics which you have left. Okay. These are the usual doubts. How do I catch up with the classes which I missed? It's okay. First complete what is there in hand. The missed classes you can complete in the extra time which you need to spend. Okay. I think I'm done here. Yeah, thank you. Any other doubts? Any other things you want me to discuss?
People exams, people still valid scheme free to advice.
No, like I told, no. See, schemes which are in news multiple times or which have been asked previously by UPSC, you should focus on those major schemes. Other schemes, it depends on how you are going to use them in your mains exam. Very rarely they will ask, talk about PM Kusum scheme. What are the advantages, disadvantages? You will not find such questions. Instead, if they are asking about renewable energy, there you can talk about PM Kusum scheme. So it's a kind of ammunition which you are getting ready. You choose your ammunition. How many schemes you need to remember, and you should know when you are reading particular scheme. You should know I am going to use this scheme when such question is asked. That thought process should be there. Other things, general questions about schemes through prelims previous year questions, you will understand what kind of schemes they are going to ask. They'll ask mostly whether it is a central sector or centrally sponsored, or any scheme which is launched in the previous year, which government has publicized very much. That they will ask. Other than that, no. Again, schemes will be one question in prelims. One question, hardly. If they ask on schemes, out of 100, it is one question. How much time will you spend for that one question? Instead, polity, history, economy, geography, together you will get 60 questions from static. So spend your time wisely. Schemes, select one set of schemes, read, revise, close. Don't worry about whether question will come from this schemes only or not. If it comes, fine. Does not come, fine. You have your static stronger. We'll clear it.
Sir, how to select option?
How to select optional? That's a very big question. How many of you have not selected your optional yet? Majority. Okay. First, let's understand the importance of optional in clearing the exam. You have two papers, 500 marks. If you see toppers marks, it will be around, on an average, 1050 to 1100 total. This includes your interview marks and mains marks. Mains GS 1 to 4 and optional papers. Okay. So, and toppers, if you see, the range of marks will be close to 300. Some will get 350, 360, some will get 250, but 300 around in optional. 1050, 300. What is the remaining? 700. In this 700, you have essay, one paper, ethics or GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I miss anything? 5 papers. So 700 divided by 5. Did I miss any other paper? No. 700 divided by 5. 140. So if you want AIR 1, in each paper you need to score around 140. It can be varying. In essay you will score 160, ethics you score 140, and it can be at variance. But this is the usual rough calculation I am putting at. Each paper 140 you have to score for 5 papers, and here 2 papers you need to score around 300. And this is one subject which you are going to read, which is very predictable, very bound. Here it's general. The exam paper itself says it's a general studies. Okay, you need to have some content, adequate content to write the answers, but it's not a bound subject, general subject. So the amount of time you are spending here, equal amount of time you have to spend here also, because the returns are more here and it's a deciding factor for your exam. Understood? I think it's not 140. You missed the interview marks. Interview average for toppers will be, say, 180. Subtract 180. Huh? Now divide by 5. Feels lighter. From 140 we came to 105. No? So each GS paper you need to score around 105. This much is enough to become topper. If you score 300. Otherwise also it works. Maybe you scored more in ethics and essay and GS, but you scored 250 in optional. Rough calculation I am telling you. I'm helping you visualize how important is optional with respect to weightage when it comes to total marks. You see 300 marks there for 2 papers and 5 papers combined you see 520 marks. You understood the importance, right? And here the advantage is your syllabus is fixed, very defined, questions are repetitive, sources are very well defined and evolved in the market. Only thing you need to do is understand the subject, practice enough answer writing, do some value addition compared to others. So now, how to select your optional? What is your subject of interest? Have a short list. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be of your graduation subject or subject which you are fond of since your childhood, from the list of optionals of UPSC. Okay? From the list of optionals of UPSC. You shortlisted 3 or 4. Of the shortlisted subjects, go through the syllabus. Index, syllabus index, go through the syllabus and then again go back to your list and see if you want to remove any of the subjects from the list after seeing the syllabus, after seeing the detailed topics, what topics are included in that. Rank the optionals based on the sources available. Maybe you have arrived at 2 optionals or 3 optionals. Within that, based on the available sources, be it your coaching or material available in the market or the books, reference books which are available, whether you will be able to complete it or not. Take 1 week's time, go through the books also. Maybe you have shortlisted anthropology and sociology. So go to a library, go through the reference books suggested by toppers. See how you are feeling about the topics, whether you will be very much interested to work more on the topics, more than what is given in the books. Do a bit of research on your own, add some points, follow the current affairs on those topics. So optional should be a subject of interest. That is the top priority. Followed by go through the syllabus and see whether you feel like you will be able to do it or not. Third comes your sources. Fourth, should I say scoring marks in the previous 3-4 years, which optional is performing better? No, does not matter. It does not matter. You will never know. Maybe tomorrow anthropology will do good, sociology will do good. We'll never know. What we know is for the preparation we did, we will write the best answers. We'll try to be on the top. That should be the goal. Don't depend on UPSC scaling and whether a particular optional does well in a particular year or not. Don't go by those calculations. These are the 3 things you should look at. So take your time, since you are in the very beginning of your preparation. Go through the list of optionals available. Among that, what is more suitable for you? Say for example, somebody has done biology in their graduation. Not everybody can take biology. Only someone who is from that background can take biology. because when they go through the syllabus, they'll find majority of the topic covered in their graduation. Same topics, same sources. So you can gauge upon that whether you can take biology or not. Again, this is not an optional which many people will take. So results also will be according to your performance. Or say you are from engineering background or BSc background and you want to try general optional, something like humanities, anthropology, sociology, psychology. These are general subjects. You don't need expertise in the particular subject. You cannot take medical sciences optional. You have to do MBBS for that. You can take, for choosing you can take, but you will never be able to complete it. All the same, it will be same like graduation only, again same subjects. So someone has a geography, someone has geography background in their graduation, they can very well take geography. It will be saving their time, irrespective of, don't think about whether it is scoring or not in the previous years. If it is going to help you, if it is going to save your time, if you feel you are going to excel in that subject, take it. Similarly with anthro, sociology, psychology, go through the syllabus. These are all general subjects. Anybody can get through with some guidance, but you should be interested. Don't just go by the numbers. This is broadly about optional. Individually, if you have any other doubts regarding optional, we can talk. What is your option? PSIR. Why did you select? Based on interest. You like the subject. Some people will also think if I take PSIR, it will help me in GS2. No. For GS2, you don't need to do PSIR. That's a different subject. General subject, if you know international relations and other things, it's fine. But if you are aspiring to be an IFS officer, foreign service, PSIR will be a very good addition for your knowledge if you do PSIR. So if you have clarity about which service you want also, then you can decide your option. If you want to do forest service exam also, you want to give forest service exam. I think you are aware forest service has separate mains, same prelims, higher cutoff, separate mains. There also you have two options. So some overlapping optional you want to take, yes, you can take. So many factors are there, but these are the basic things. Don't choose an optional so that it helps your GS. No, don't do that. Don't choose an optional because it has performed better in the previous years. No, that does not be consistent every year. Choose optional based on your interest after going through the syllabus and sources. Keep it very simple. Don't stress it out. Choose one, start off, you will be doing it. What are you interested in?
Agriculture.
Your background is agriculture?
Microbiology.
Microbiology. But see through, if you have majority of the syllabus portion overlapping, it will be helpful for you. It will save time, no? That's how it is. Anything else? Any value addition which has happened today? Do you all feel something, some change is there in the orientation towards your approach for the exam? Or you just wasted 1.5 hours? All right. I hope I was able to give some inputs and help your preparation in some small way. Anything else you can communicate to the academy. If I'm available, I can. I will be very happy to resolve your doubts and help you out in the preparation. Okay. Again, take the exam very seriously. One attempt, give the best of what you got, because preparing for UPSC will help you in cracking other exams also. Most of the syllabus is overlapping. State exams you can give IB, you can give other group A exams. Okay, there are so many options. Even if you could go through the interview process, till the interview process also, some of the, like Sports Authority, etc., they offer jobs. Okay, so preparation will not be a waste, but it will be a waste of time if you are not doing the needful, if you are not using your time effectively. This is the prime time. You are just out of graduation, most of you, maybe 1 year, 2 years out of graduation. So this is the prime time which you are spending on an exam. So spend it wisely, dedicatedly. So if you are wasting time now, You will be neither there nor here. You will not be suitable for a job outside. You will not be suitable for cracking any government exams also. So keep that in mind. This time is very important, very valuable. The opportunity cost is very high. Opportunity cost in the sense, if you have gone the regular path, you would have chosen some job. Maybe it is paying 25,000 only, but you would be supporting your family, right, financially. But now your family is supporting you, and you are able to study, come to an institute, take guidance and study. So you should be entirely focused on that. Everything else can wait. The Instagram post from your friend can wait. The person of interest can wait. Everything else can wait. Don't get distracted. 1 year of very keen and dedicated preparation, you will be there. Okay. I'm not telling each one of you in this room will be able to clear the exam. Even I didn't know if I am going to clear the exam or not. But if you are true towards the preparation, it will help you in one way or the other. It will not leave you midway. It will help you to get a career one way or the other. Okay. So keep that in mind. Give your best efforts. Right? Should we call it a day, or any other things you want to ask? Okay. All the best.